grey pelican or spot-billed pelican. And one more keyword that I can see is one bird sanctuary, that is Uppalapadu Bird Sanctuary. So from which subject you can see this, if there is any organism or if there is any animal or any species in use, you will be seeing that from GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. So what are the things or the dimensions that you have to see? You have to see about some basic features of that so and so organism or animal, and you have to see habitat of that animal. That means where we can see that, and you have to see what are the threats to that animal species, and next you have to see conservation status. And in this conservation status, you have to focus on three important things. First one is what is the status in this IUCN Red List. Next one is Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, and next you have to see sites. So in these three areas, what is the protection status of that animal is very important. So these are the areas that you have to focus. And here this Uppalapadu Bird Sanctuary, which is located in state of AP. So try to make a note of this. You may get a question regarding in which state we have this Uppalapadu Bird Sanctuary. So in 2018, 2019 and every year, normally UPSC will be asking a question regarding national park. They will give a national park and they will ask in which state it is present. Okay, so you have to know about even national parks which are there in use, so that you can answer that kind of simple questions in your examination. And especially they will be giving questions of national parks in northeastern area and as well as South India. Okay, so now let us see this article in detail. Especially you have to know some facts, and this topic is very important from your prelims, because recently we also discussed about these pelicans and different kinds of pelicans and which pelicans are present in India, where we are attracting this migrant pelican. So all these things that we discussed in the recent past, right? So you have to just revise those things. So this image is related to spot-billed pelican, and this spot-billed pelican is also called as grey pelican. And one important specialty of this grey pelican is it is largest water bird. It is a large water bird, and it is seen in Indian subcontinent and as well as in Southeast Asian part. And habitat, it will be normally seen in this wetlands. So it can be seen in both fresh water and as well as saline water. Okay, and especially it will breeds in acacia bushes. So do you know this plant acacia? Acacia, I think many of you might be knowing about that acacia. Okay, I will be showing you that acacia plant also, so that you will be getting some idea. And one more thing here is, you have to see here natural vegetation as well. Acacia. So this is yellow color flowers. I think you might have played with that in your childhood. So this kind of yellow flowers that you can see, this is acacia plant. It will be having thorns. You can't touch the plant directly. So especially during the summer season, these flowers will be blooming. And if you add that flowers in water, it will become yellow color. So I think I will remember my childhood things that I did with this acacia plant. So this is acacia, and on these plants we can see, especially if you're from rural background, you can see many cranes will be nesting on this plant also, on this tree. Many cranes. So in the same way, here this bird also having this breeding sites on this acacia bushes. Okay, and actually what are threats they are having? Threats is habitat loss because of encroachment of the wetlands and because of developmental activities. Everything, there is decreasing of the habitat of these animals. And this one is hunting. So many people, they consume the meat of these birds. So hunting. And this one is invasive species. What is this concept of invasive species? Invasive species concept. So they are not present in the original environment. We are bringing them from another area and we are placing here. So here we have different kinds, like animals will be there and plants will be there. Okay, do you know this case study of Brazil? Brazil and as well as one nearby island in Japan. So actually there were number of snakes in that area. There is one island, I can't recall that island name, which is very much near to Japan. And actually because of that snakes, so they are biting the people. Because of that, they are very poisonous and very venomous. So it is killing the people in that region. So Japan government wants to control that. So for controlling of that snakes, which is the animal which will be feeding on the snakes? Mongoose. And also we have eagles. Any other things? Predators of snakes, even peacocks. So what they did was, they took 20 mongoose and they shifted to that island. Actually, that island is not the native place of this mongoose. Then what happened rapidly? Actually, mongoose are very much active during morning times, but snakes in that area was mainly active during night times. That means what happening? So rather than killing the snakes, mongoose started killing rabbits and other animals in that region, and that led to rapid increase of the snake population and also mongoose population. So just they introduced only 20 mongoose in that island. Suddenly within 6 months to 1 year span, that number had been increased to 10,000. And now there is a problem with this mongoose in that region because it is having threat to the other animals. So what government did was, again operation. In that operation, they started catching this mongoose and they tried to decrease the number of mongoose. But the problem had been sustained. There is no anecdote, or the problem of the snakes had been not solved. That is also called as Snake Island, which is nearby Japan. Okay. So in the same way here, whenever we are introducing any animal which is not the original habitat of that animal, then what happens? There will be no competitors. There will be no animal which will be feeding on that. So that there will be the rapid growth of that. Because of that, it will be having threat on the native species. Okay. So because of invasive species also, it is causing harm to this spot-billed pelican and even diseases. For example, avian influenza, which causes diseases in birds. And next one here is in IUCN, they are listed under not threatened. And next one is in Wildlife Protection Act, they are listed under Schedule 4. Okay, so these are the things that you have to see from this article.